The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And another glorious day in Fall River.
It was snowing outside when I came in here.
Well, it always snows. You know, it's they got that series on. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. I guess we're going to have it now. It's always snowy in the Riv. So. But yeah, we've got the snow removal. We had the city council ordinance meeting last night. So again, we never run out of material here. So the ordinance went through 5-0, I hear, for the new position, and also another position has been named that already exists, and there were some strong advocates for that position, I hear, and you know, again, we have to determine whether this is business as usual or if we're going to get any change in government. I don't know. It seems we're putting the cart before the horse. We're putting more and more people on the payroll, and I haven't seen any definitive reorganization. I don't mean that, oh, we've eliminated some lawyers and we've eliminated this position, that, but those are temporary. I want to see a restructuring. Maybe it's just me, but these positions are like bad pennies. They always come back to haunt you. And I don't believe in this. We didn't hire 2 lawyers, and we're going to have a smaller law department. Well, we didn't have a big law department to begin with. We may have had an inefficient law department. We may have had an overpaid law department, but we didn't have a large law department. So I'm not sure if I'm understanding what's going on. I'm trying to look at this thing objectively, and when I hear city councilors say, you have to give the mayor, a new mayor, some latitude. You have to, give him what he wants. Well, this is how we got to where we are. Every new mayor gets what he wants at first, which is normally jobs for his friends. And that creates more and more jobs because, like the bad pennies, those jobs very rarely disappear.
I agree, Chip, and I just thought it very funny that last night it looked like Mayor Sutter was on something. He kept bouncing from chair to chair to chair, and I was like, he's got ants in his pants or something. I had a conversation before the show with an individual who turned around and said, well, that comes from being a lawyer. He always wants to make eye contact with everyone. But the city council, or I should say the committee on ordinance last night, showed exactly where they stand. And I don't mean on their feet. They stand on the premise that if the mayor wants it, the mayor will get it. Because to have a vote the way it was yesterday was unbelievable. The mayor got his chief of operations as a chief of staff, which makes, by the way, $8,000 plus more than the chief of operations job did. My question is, the person who was supposed to get the chief of staff's job, where is she going or he going? And what are the jobs going to be in the making down the pike? We already see that the mayor is hiring ADAs from the Bristol County District Attorney's Office to be on various boards and commissions in the city. 2 of them were just confirmed by the city council without any problem. And a lot of people are saying, well, this could be, they're working together, they're trying to put it all behind them. They're trying to say that they're going to have a council that works with the mayor. I think what's happening here is people don't see the sinking of this ship, and that it's continuously happening. And it's been happening for a couple of administrations. It's been a slow, methodical drowning. And the problem that we have is nobody is willing, nobody, whether you talk about the school committee, the Grateful Nine, the mayor's office, to take the bull by the horns and say, I don't care. We need to do this. We need to move Fall River forward. Okay? And to move Fall River forward, we need to all pull together to do that. But we can't do it when, well, you know, my friend Bob needs a job, and, you know, I think I'm going to make him the chief contract negotiator for the city, and he's going to take care of all the contracts because Bob knows how to do that job. But again, that's an opinion. But I think that what's happening here is the people are being spoken to in volumes. The question is, are they going to listen, or are they going to pay attention to the same old, so why fight it?
Well, you know, I think that there's a flaw in that attitude that, you know, we have to all work together. Yeah, we have to work together if we're working toward a goal that is going to benefit the city of Fall River. I don't believe in this mantra that we all have to hold hands and get along. As I said, I don't mind debate. I don't mind a little disagreement, as long as we come ultimately to a consensus that moves the city forward. I don't think adding more and more management jobs, more and more positions without a restructuring. As I said, look, I don't have a problem with this mayor or any mayor having people in positions to do jobs, and people he trusts and people he feels are qualified. But with that being said, that has to work in concert with a restructuring of the city. You know, the problem that we have in this city is we forget it's not about the city council working with the mayor. It's about the city council working for the people that elected them to represent them, the people of Fall River. And if that happens to be to not agree with the mayor, that's the position they should take. This pass that every new mayor gets, oh, he's a new mayor, let's give him everything he needs to do the job. Well, we're giving him too much. We've seen more and more and more of these jobs that we don't need, like neighborhood liaisons making $90,000. Neighborhood associations got along pretty damn well before we had this guy and his staff.
Yeah, the problem though right now is the neighborhoods are upset because he doesn't return phone calls. Yeah. But then again, you know, so do some of the city councilors. The biggest problem I have is when these things are proposed and they come down to the city council, and none of them, not one of the 9, has the guts to say no, and get together and say no. And you know, this is the problem. The city council, they say we need more power. This is a mayor powerful charter. This is how it's set up. No, the one thing the city council has, the one thing the city council has always had is the power of no. They control the checkbook. Yeah. And you and I both know, Chip, that money makes the world go round. And it especially makes Fall River go round.
That's 100% right. When they say they have no power, that's horse poo-poo. I hate to say that, but it is. Because without money, we can't do anything. It's like saying that we can get something through the State House or the federal government without it getting through Ways and Means. If you don't have the money, I don't care what you say you're going to do, you're not going to get it. So the council they do have that ultimate say because they fund everything. And that get out of jail card that they always use, well, we've got to do it, we're backed in a corner, if we don't do it, we're going to get fined, blah, blah, blah. Look, the problem is this city hasn't changed in 200 years because nobody cares about the people who work and pay taxes. It's all about creating bigger government. The answer to everything is to hire more people. And my question is really simple. And as I said, I have a philosophical difference with these people. A city or a town is basically our home. And in our home, we have to pay the electric light bill, we have to pay the gas bill, we have to buy food first before we go out and buy fancy cars and buy extras. So we look at this city and we see services that have been cut drastically over the years. Everything's been cut that delivers the service to us in our own home. Yet, the fat has increased disproportionately. We have an inverted pyramid. What we have here is, people talk about how government's answer to everything is throw money at it. Well, it's also create jobs, because the schools ran fine. I was in one of the largest graduating classes at Durfee High School in its history, even till today. Yet, we didn't have COOs and all these tiers and tiers and tiers of administrators that are doing such a great job that we have kids walking out of the school in the middle of the school day and nobody knows it until after the fact. The mayor didn't have all these assistants and special assistants and specialists to look at their vision. Well, you know what my vision is of Fall River? It's a place where they try to hold down taxes, keep money in our pockets so we can go out and buy things in the store and actually build businesses and bring businesses in. Because the reason Fall River continues to be an economic disaster area is because all of you are full of crap. And you try to feed us a line, and you try to say that if we do this and we have this committee and we hire this guy to bring in business, bullshit. The mayor loves to cite data. He's a lawyer. Oh, the data said that we did a better job of snow removal in New Bedford. Well, the data is pretty simple, too. Newton has 2,000 less people than we do, and they have 10,000 more businesses. Why? Because they also have the lowest amount of people below the poverty level and the highest per capita income of any city of our size in the Commonwealth. You get the correlation there? You get that data?
By the way, Chip, Newton streets are clear.
Yeah, well, it's mind-boggling, CJ, to me that we listen to all this stuff, and I listen to one of the councilors constantly saying, we've got to invest in this city. Everything we spend is an investment. Crap. It's the city's job to provide us services. That's why we pay our taxes. That's why I have to pay. Hey, look, I don't like paying my electric bill. It doubled. But I got to pay it if I want to have lights and if I want to have heat. If I want my boiler to run, I have to pay my gas bill. I mean, those are necessary things. And when I'm paying my taxes, I want my fire department, my police department, and my DPW to be here. I don't want administrative assistants, city administrators, special assistants, COOs, and all this other crap. And we're looking at a city that has far less people delivering services to us and a far larger budget. And what's wrong with that picture?
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with that picture right off the bat, Chip. I mean, they're already being told to prepare budgets which are 5 and 10% less than the current budget. But you'll notice when those budgets are prepped, we don't get rid of any of the fat. We don't get rid of the 4 city treasurers on top of the one we hired. We don't look at getting rid of 2 assistant directors of DCM. We don't look at getting rid of 16 different heads of one department or another over at the Fall River School Department, okay? Because we can't do that. We got to get rid of the guys who actually do the work. We got to get rid of the teachers. We got to get rid of the guys who pick up the trash. We got to get rid of the firemen because that's what we have to do because we can't afford them. No, we can't afford the 14 tiers of bull on top of all of it. And the people of Fall River have to pay for that. And to top all of it all off, which you and I reported months ago about the shortfall in the school department. It was 2.7, it was 3.1, it was 3.5, it was 2.6. It's $4.5 million. Okay? And still climbing, it seems. So where do we get that money? Because we had already said that we were going to pay it with the free cash. By the way, free cash just means that we overtaxed you and you're not getting it back. But we're going to pay for it with the free cash, which isn't even that amount of money. So again, we got to carry that money over into the next fiscal year. Oh wait, we can't do that. The law says we can't do that. So how are they going to do it? How are they going to fit 180 days of school into a school year, which they don't have it because they can't add an hour on. They can't add a day on, okay? And they can't get the vacations to be washed away because number one is next Monday. starts next Monday. And number two, the collective bargaining units aren't going to agree to do away with this spring vacation. But again, that's all costing us money. We don't care. So we're at 4.5 million. Let's see how much higher we can get it. Because remember, we haven't even dealt with this fiscal year's shortfall. So again, headache on top of headache. Welcome to Fall River.
Well, you mean an erroneous figure from our treasurer? What a surprise. Yeah, that's never happened before.
No,
has
never,
it?
never.
But look, you know, the reality is really simple. They're going to ask the people who work for the city for pay cuts or take layoffs, and they're going to create new jobs and high-paying jobs. And guess what? I heard the comment was made that the people shouldn't be looking so closely at every little thing. Well, I disagree. I think we should be looking very closely at everything that's done, because that's one of the problems. The problem is this is unacceptable right now. You know, Mayor Flanagan was thrown out because he disregarded the city and its people. And now we expected some changes, and that change should have started by streamlining government, and it hasn't been done. The reality is there's something very unique. Whenever money can't be found, it's because they're stealing it and because they're misappropriating it. That's almost a given in government. I'm going to go back many years.
They wouldn't do that in Fall River, Chip, would they?
Yeah. Well,
they would actually take the money?
Well, I'm going to go back many years ago when we had a 300-man fire department, 300-man police department, and a budget under 100 million, just under. It was in the 90 millions. But at that time, we were getting something called federal revenue sharing, and we got $6.4 million of federal revenue sharing one year. And everybody said, oh, great, we're getting this money for police and fire, and we're going to earmark it for police and fire. And they said they were going to earmark it. Well, guess what? They gave 3.2 to the police department and 3.2 to the fire department. And the 6.4 million from the city disappeared. It just disappeared. The budget started at 94 million, they added 6 million, and it still was 94 million. And I asked the question, where's the money? If you took the revenue sharing out, if you took city money out and replaced it with federal money, where did you spend the other 6 million? And you know what the answer was? We don't know. We don't know. And then Councilor Medeiros actually made the statement, and Linda Pereira remembers it, I believe. He said, I believe Mr. Kamara's asking where's the beef? And you know, we never got an answer to that question, and the auditor and the treasurer was sitting at the table at that time in those bygone years when you could actually go there and question the budget at length. And guess what? The next day, they were threatening layoffs again of fire across the board, fire, police, school, because of the budget shortfall. Well, guess what? After somebody said, hey, if you add 6 to 94, it comes out to 100. How come the budget's still the same? And nobody could answer that question. It was a mystery. But that mystery was solved the next day, and there were no layoffs because miraculously they found the money. And it's the problem. That's the problem in government. When they can't find the money, they know where it is. They just don't want us to know where it is. And they're going to use it when they have to and when they're pressed. And you know something? We shouldn't be giving the mayor anything he wants. We should be giving him what he needs, not what he wants. You know the old Rolling Stone song? You can't always get what you want, but if you try real hard, you can get what you need.
Hey, I agree, Chip, and you know, I firmly believe, and I made this comment recently, that in 20 plus years, Fall River has never seen an increase. Fall River has never seen anything moving us forward. No matter what it is, it's short term, it lasts a month, it lasts 2, maybe a year, and then disappears. Whether it be businesses, jobs, whatever the case may be. Fall River knew this was happening, and some of the members of the city council today were on the city council back when this started. And we have proven, just by the statistics which the mayor loves, that Fall River is in a deep spiral swirl down the drain. And the people responsible, you might want to say it's the citizens. It's not. It's the elected officials. The city council, the school committee, and even the sixth floor needs to have a drastic wake-up call. And maybe that wake-up call needs to happen at the voter booth, where they turn around and they say, you know what, we recalled the mayor, and you didn't get the message. You didn't listen, and you didn't get the message. So maybe now what we need to do is, at the booth this time, really send a message. Let's get rid of all of you clowns, and let's see how you feel. Because you know what? It's time for the people to take back their government. And a comment made in the ordinance committee meeting yesterday by a city councilor smacked right in the face of, we'll do what we want, in my opinion. And that was, the reason why the people are upset with the Cozy Bus Company is because we granted them a variance. Well, if the people didn't want this variance, they should have shown up and fought against granting this variance. It's the people's fault for not being there to do it. No, it doesn't matter if you show up at those hearings. I've shown up at numerous zoning board hearings, and I've stated vehemently against granting variances. Okay? And you know what? If you get the right attorney and the right people, boom, you get your variance. There isn't a variance that this zoning board has ever said no to that really made sense. Okay? If you buy a parcel of land and you know it doesn't meet the frontage requirements or the lot size requirement, you bought it, you knew it, why is it all of a sudden a hardship on you? You knew it. Suck it up. Don't come to me to give you a variance so you can create parking and flooding problems. That's your problem, not mine. But we sold the schools, and again, we granted the variances because these are politically connected developers. I'm not against development, but I am against stupidity, and stupidity runs rampant. And for any city councilor to turn around and say, it's the people's fault, you don't deserve to be in your seat, okay? And for any city councilor to run around and support the mayor vehemently, even to go against their own grain and the things that they fought for, like residency requirements, says to me, how much of a backbone do you have? I don't know, Chip. Maybe it's just me being upset.
Well, yeah, I think it's justifiable in many cases, and everybody can have their own opinion. But what I see, and I don't think anybody can refute, is over the last decade or two, what we've seen is a gradual reduction of the people who do the work in this city. We have a fire department that's virtually, it's understaffed. We have a police department with less men than we had, 20 years ago when we had a lot more people in the city. We see less and less people providing the services, and what we see is more and more management, more and more of these fancy title jobs: chief operating officer, special assistant to the special assistant, assistant to the special assistant to the special assistant, unpaid intern to all of them. All we've done is create this tremendous bureaucracy, and this is how we fix everything. Hire somebody else to do it. Well, I disagree. And I think that the next election should be like the Gong Show. If they haven't done their job and you think they don't have the priorities that you have, which is 4 treasurers at $80,000 that aren't even in the budget, where's the investigation? Gong out. Gone. Everybody out. Where's the investigation? If you don't support an investigation, if you don't streamline government, 4 people at $80,000, 2 of whom are directly related to people who are in government, that's 4 firefighters, or 2 police officers and 2 firefighters. That's another person picking up trash, not supervising the pickup of trash. This city is upside down. We are overmanaged and underserviced. And next November, if they haven't paid attention, let's give them fair warning. They will be held accountable, and they will get the hook.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that the people of Fall River don't get bought off by a chow mein sandwich or a ham and bean dinner. because we already know that those machinations are already in effect. And that truly is one of the big problems. It's the truth. I mean, I've been a political activist for a long time. I know how politics are in Fall River. You cater in an election year to the people who will vote but don't pay taxes. And that's what they do. They cater to the people who vote but don't pay taxes. They cater to the seniors. They cater to all those people that are just kind of like on the outskirts. All right? They're not property owners. They're not any of that. Because on the property owners and the people who pay the taxes, they can't cater to them with a chow mein sandwich. You and I both know that. You got to cater to them with TIFs and tax breaks and zoning variances. And that's how you get them to get their employees and their people to make sure that they vote for you. And this is how it's done. It's dirty politics, which is legal politics. And that's, I mean, you and I have been in this long enough to know, you longer than I, although sometimes I feel I'm longer than you, that, you know, we can pick and choose every war we want. The problem is that if the people in that war don't rise up to take back what is rightfully theirs, we get nothing out of it. We lose.
You're right, CJ, and I will tell you straight, and I will say it publicly. No one will get my vote in the next election that I don't feel is operating in the best interest of the taxpayers of this city and in the interest of the people of this city, not in the self-interest of certain people or a minority. If they haven't done something to drastically change the way we do business, to cut the fat, to eliminate waste, and to bring back services and improve basic fundamental services, I will vote for someone new. And you know something? I don't even care if I maybe dislike some of their platforms. I will give them an opportunity to go there and represent the best interest of the people. And if they do, they'll continue to get my vote. And if they don't, we'll vote them out. And I think the recall did one thing. It got people paying attention. And let's hope that that attention span is not what these politicians hope it is, the length of a gnat. You know, and next November, if things keep going the way they are, let's send a message. Let's go back to the 90s when we got rid of more than half the city council. And that's what, if that's what needs to happen, it's nothing personal. But again, it is, because it's my tax rate that keeps going up. It's my services that keep going down. It's my fire department that's understaffed. So guess what? I do have a vested interest in this. And it's personal. Because when I see people making $100,000 and I see a treasurer and 4 of his relatives or somebody's relatives helping him that aren't even reflected in a budget, I get pissed.
I wonder why. I mean, it's amazing how fast the time goes by here, but you know, I, like you, have the same belief. I think that it would be wonderful if all 9 of the city councilors got replaced. I think it would be wonderful if all the school committee got replaced. And at this point in time, I'm really beginning to believe that the 6th floor needs to be replaced. And I honestly don't believe it is going to be that hard for any candidate coming up in the upcoming election, providing you, the people of Fall River, open up your eyes and say, enough of this, enough is enough.
Well, let's hope things change quickly. Let's hope that something comes out of that office and we see real change. Otherwise, there will be change.
That's it. And thank you for watching Spindle City Straight Talk. Have a great day.